How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Marvel's Alien Annual #1. Yeah, the very first annual. Really cool to see it. Annuals, when done right, are a great way to tell a sort of, off to the side, self-contained story. They're a little longer, so you get more pages to flesh it out. And a great way to do side stories, and that's what they've really taken advantage of here. And yeah, the first one, they did do an Aliens special for the anniversary of the movie, so there is other standalone content, or at least one so far. But this is the first annual, and I'm really glad to get my hands on it. This is, of course, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, with art by Salvador Larroca, and I think the new chapter of Alien, they are switching to a different artist, so this might be the last Salvador Larroca one for a minute, so sad to see him go. But anyway, the plot of this issue, a brief, non-spoilery synopsis, is Gabriel Cruz is on this ship to go deliver a xenomorph bioweapon. You see there's this satellite, a space station, that Weyland-Yutani owns, but it's being taken over by anti-Weyland-Yutani terrorists, and Gabriel Cruz and an android and a small crew is going to deliver a xenomorph, hopefully wipe them all out, and test the xenomorph's capability as a weapon. However, they're shot down, and when their ship is drifting in space, the android crew member says, well, it looks like I can't achieve my original mission, but if I let the xenomorph loose, I can still study it. And he betrays the crew and destroys the ship, letting the xenomorph out, and Cruz has to survive. Now, a few things with this. I really do like the android trader element. The android's a pretty cool character. He's a combat unit, so he's got, like, steel-colored skin, and he looks a little less human. He's, bigger and clunkier, but because of, laws that have been passed recently, androids can't betray people as easy, so they stuck a different brain inside of him, an older model, so Weyland's kind of made their own custom job here, and that, secret trader element, the idea that I'm going to try not to have people notice that I'm screwing them over as much as possible, that's a really interesting element. There's so many board games based on traders and stuff, and it really is cool to see it here, and you get a very classic Alien story on top of all this, with actually a fair amount of gore, and a lot more than you might suspect Marvel might do. Really good. I mean, these are comics based on rated R movies after all. You gotta keep that up, and I do really like that element of the plot. Now, that being said, though, with the whole Gabriel Cruz thing, I was really glad to see him again. An annual is a perfect excuse to jump back in time, see this character that we've missed. In Chapter 2, I really did like, the new characters and the new plot, but I also really missed our old characters, so great to see them again. However, this wasn't the story that I thought it would be initially. The ads said something like the defining mission of Gabriel Cruz's life, and I thought that would have been that whole where he gets the chest burster inside of him, but Bishop freezes him and they extract it, and that becomes like Epsilon Station's alpha alien, I thought it would be that story, but this is a different one. And I guess, to be fair, that story they already told pretty well in various flashbacks, so they don't really need to tell it. It's just not the story that I thought it would be going in. And this new story is cool, but a few things with it. One, Gabriel Cruz says that he doesn't want to do this mission, but that's about as deep as the struggle gets, and I really wish they showed Cruz struggling a little more with this decision. I mean, he is a military guy, he's very loyal to the company, and he does what he's told. But that being said, he's dropping a bioweapon on people that he himself experienced and almost died to. I wish they showed the trauma in his character a little better. And also, I really do wonder, because, you know, this is a prequel, we know Cruz survives, but I wonder how he repaired his relationship with Weyland-Yutani after this, because you think that one of their androids almost killing you to something that you almost died to before, you think that would have been a game over, you know? You think it would have been like, Weyland-Yutani, you screwed me over one too many times, I'm out of here. But he somehow gets back with the company after all this. The book doesn't have enough epilogue to explain this. I guess they just blame the whole thing on the android and they're able to move past it. To be fair, he does retire not too terribly long after this, and when he retires, he starts to question his loyalty a bit more. So, I guess this is setting that up. But still, man, I wonder how he went back to work for these guys after these events. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, I don't want to harp on it too much. It's just a few things with Cruz's character. Why was he so okay with this, and how did he go back to the company? But man, I guess that guy's just loyal to a fault. But it's still great to see Cruz and the whole android character being the secret traitor, and just a lot of classic Alien stuff. I really did like this comic. I like doing one-shots. I like telling short little individual stories. And now that we have this and the Aliens special, you know, I like to see these other little peeks outside of the main storyline at the larger Alien story, and I thought this was pretty fun. Anyway, if you guys want to hear me talk about it a little more, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera. We'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into the story and the art. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but if you want to analyze it a little further, we're going to go to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Marvel's Alien Annual #1. And I guess begin by saying we got a pretty cool cover this time around. The Alien covers have always been pretty cool, and here we get Gabriel Cruz shooting up a bunch of aliens. That being said, in this issue, there's only one alien, so I'm thinking this does take place in his original discovery of the aliens, this cover, not the issue. But a cool cover nonetheless, nice blue, striking white. I do kind of wonder why the Alien logo is scooted down instead of being up top, but whatever. Flipping it open, I'm going to jump to the credits page. There is a cold opening first, but I like to cover the credit splash first. And I do really love a double page splash for the credits. We get this previously on, which has been shortened. It talks about Alien, and then rather than saying any more, it just goes, the subsequent efforts failed. And then it talks about Cruz's original mission from 2180, bringing back the first ever living xenomorph specimen, and now we're 19 years later. And up here we get this fun picture of Cruz and his crew, and this must be from the original image because we are labeled 2180 right here. So then below that we get the credits. Phillip Kennedy Johnson is the writer, Salvador Larroca is the artist, and Guru EFX is the colorist. Now that being said, Salvador Larroca as the artist, this might be his last one for a while, because if we look at the previews in the back of the book, next, #1 Icarus. Artist Julius Ota joins Phillip Kennedy Johnson. So a few things to take away from this ad. First of all, they put coming soon rather than an exact date. They've been missing their deadlines like crazy, and I think they've just decided to not tell us when it's going to come out. But also, we're resetting to #1. Again, when I said, you know, the first chapter and then the second chapter, they don't really go together, and I was wondering why they didn't do just an all-new #1 when they got to issue 7, and it seems like they're going to do that now. So Alien Icarus #1, and this cover here looks pretty cool. white, so that's a synth he's destroying. But that being said, I don't know much about this new artist. I'm hoping the quality stays consistent. But while we're in the previews, let's go ahead and talk about something. Flip this book to the back, and we see that they're finally getting their Predator book off the ground, which is great to see that. I think they were working on it, but then there was a question about the Predator rights. The people who made the original movie were going to try to get them back, but, you know, Disney, I hope they got some fair settlement. I haven't been keeping up with it, but we finally have the Predator book, so I'll definitely be looking forward to that. It just says summer 2022. But anyway, after all that, let's go ahead and crack the book open. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this issue's about. We open up and we get to see a Weyland-Yutani space station has been captured by an anti-Weyland-Yutani group. This is 2193 here, and we get to see them burning the Weyland-Yutani uniform, and a selfie. Probably the first selfie in the Alien canon. I don't know, someone will correct me if it's not. And I kind of wonder if that's supposed to be Cruz's son with the blue hat. I'm not sure, he's got a mask on, but yeah, so there's this video of them rioting, which is going to make the Weyland-Yutani board very upset. And this board member who is watching the tape says, hey, this is the opportune time to test out the xenomorph and see how well he'll work as a weapon, because that's why we have them after all. And they talk about a synthetic, how you can use a synthetic, the aliens won't attack it if they're not provoked, so we can use that to deploy it. And they want to use a military synthetic, but the problem is there's all these new laws about not having your synthetics kill people, and they kind of want to get around that because people are definitely going to die with this, and they come up with the idea to have a new hardware, but the software, the brain that's going inside of it, is going to be old software. And I saw this and I'm like, ooh, I wonder, you know, if they're going this direction with it, and it was, and I was really excited. I won't spoil it for you, but I do like where this all leads to. Is something as a fan of the Alien movies, I was really glad that they did confirm this, and this is an interesting reveal towards the end. But anyway, after that we cut to the ship, the Francis Marion, and day one. There will be a day tracker system as we go on, and we get that classic alien scene of them all around the dinner table talking. Unfortunately, I don't think we can see Mr. Fusion there. But anyway, a few of the guys are harassing the robot. You know, it turns its head. Did you really turn your head, or did someone at HQ do that? And we see, because this is a combat droid, it's got that steel color for its skin. They're not really trying to hide what it is. It's not made to interact with humans in the same way a Bishop model would, you know? But anyway, he wanders off, and he's going to go and get the thing ready, because it's got to have a day or so to gestate, right? So he's going in there, they got this guy, and he's like, a company can't take political prisoners, and they have a little tub, a little thing with an alien egg in it. Kind of reminds me of those things from Return of the Living Dead, the barrels from the beginning. But anyway, back on the station, something appears to be up, and it turns out that the space station actually has defenses, which they weren't told about, and missiles come and strike the ship Cruz on, which is going to gravely damage it. And we do get this fun panel seeing it, you know, sink off into the distance. And the android sees that the host is killed, and the facehugger has nowhere to go on to now. So his mission, as initially conceived, is failed. But what if there's a way to still salvage some of this mission? So he takes his face hugger and he analyzes who's alive and in what condition they are, and he finds a new host for it, and he says, hey, we can't eliminate the terrorist, but we can still study how this thing grows. I mean, I got it out of its container already, can't stop that. And now we get the alien running around on the ship, some guy that he said died from his injuries, but of course didn't, and then Cruz will wake up, and the alien is sort of there, or the synthetic, as an imposter, and he's going to be trying to lead them all to their doom and working on the side of the alien. So, some pretty cool stuff. I really do like the hidden traitor element. I really do like, you know, some classic alien gore. There's him ripping a guy in half on day 8. So yeah, a fun story. Again, you know, you kind of wonder how Cruz repaired his relationship with Weyland-Yutani after they pulled all this stuff. And yeah, you kind of wonder how he could, you know, after been through such a tragedy, be willing to go ahead and give the aliens to someone else, but I guess he is a very much a guy that just follows orders or something, you know. But overall, the traitor element really does make this a different angle for an alien story, and I do like what they do with the synthetic character, and I like to see Cruz again. So it's a pretty fun, you know, classic alien story, and I really do like having an annual gives us a chance to do little one-offs, and this is a pretty good example of that. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Marvel's Alien playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about more Alien books, I've talked about all the past issues, chapters 1 and 2, and the Aliens special. So if you want to see me talk about all that, you can find that right here. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.